Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an exciting new unboxing video for you. If you follow my channel, you'll know that over the last few months I've acquired a couple of Shirogorov knives. This is the F3. This is the older generation model, and I picked it up right before they started shipping the newer models that we're going to talk about today. But I did that on purpose because I wasn't sure I wanted to commit the amount of money that it requires to buy one of the new ones. And I wanted to test it out and see what I thought. And over the last few months, this knife, the F3 in Vanax 35, has become one of my absolute favorite knives. Honestly, it's probably one of my top knives of all time. And that is because it is purely functional in every way, but it's also ridiculously smooth. I love the ball bearing action, and I really love these copper dust carbon fiber scales that I put on it. You can see the video where I installed that here on my channel, and I absolutely love it. And it has carried beautifully, it has functioned beautifully, and I've just loved it. And then a little bit later on, I was fortunate enough to get chosen in the Recon 1 Sigma lottery, and I picked up this Shirogorov Sigma. This is the Sinkovich collaboration. What this knife showed me was the smoothness of the multi-row bearing system, and just sort of that they've come a little bit farther and evolved a little bit more in terms of their production quality. And so I got a little bit anxious that maybe I wanted to have the most up-to-date F3. And so that is what I'm going to bring you today. I have a new box here, and it's very exciting. Now, it has a dent in it, so I'm a little unhappy about that, but it doesn't really matter. This is the F3 in Vanax 37 in carbon fiber with multi-row bearings. This is a brand new knife, and so I'm thrilled to be able to bring this to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and move these guys to the side, and we're going to go ahead and open this one up. So it comes in the classic black Shirogorov box. I really enjoy these boxes. They're very subtle, very stealthy. They always open the same way. Now, this is legitimately the first time I'm opening this knife. I have not opened it before this video, so it is actually still wrapped in its presentation state. And that's what I wanted to show you, how these knives come wrapped in this Shirogorov microfiber cloth. There is a limited lifetime warranty card here. Let's see what this says here. Shirogorov Knives warrants its products. We will repair or replace at our option without charge any products that are defective. So here's the birth certificate right here. This is an F3R in Vanax 37 carbon fiber and multi-row bearings. So I'll go ahead and move this over and we'll show you guys the knife. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, and that's very nice. So this one comes in the regular carbon fiber. This generation of knives came with a series of different types of carbon fiber and twills. Oh yeah, automatically. It's very, very smooth. So that's the first time I flipped the knife. Already I can tell that it's crazy, crazy smooth. Now, the action may not be significantly different at this point than my original F3, but I'll give it some TLC and we'll see how it goes from there. So what did I decide to do with this one? I decided to go with the Vanax 37 blade. Now, I've genuinely enjoyed the Vanax 35. It's a very curious steel to me. It's a high nitrogen content steel. But the Vanax 37 takes it a little bit farther. It's got some very interesting molecules and atoms going on in the steel itself. It's certainly got some extra things like, it's got like niobium and copper and molybdenum and things that the Vanax 35 didn't have. If you look at it chemically, it's not very dissimilar to M390. Now, M390 has some tungsten that this doesn't have, but this has a very high vanadium content, a high nitrogen, and a high chromium content. So it's going to form a very hard, very nice edge. It's going to have a nice edge retaining quality about it, and it's going to be highly corrosion resistant. And so, just for the simple fact that I'm a bit of a chemist because of my training in the past, I was just super, super curious to see what this new one was all about. Now, this blade comes with the little cutout up top. Shirogorov does some stealthy things with their blades, where some of them have the little notches on top and some of them don't. Some of them have little flats and some of them don't. I'm going to do a full-on comparison video between these two so we can see what all those differences are. But I do enjoy that. I thought that was a nice little touch. It's right where the jimping is, and I think it looks really nice because they had an option between this and the M390 version. The M390 version didn't have that little notch. It was just a flat right there, and so I decided to go ahead and get this one. It has the Shirogorov Bear logo. Obviously, it says Vanax 37 on here. We'll go ahead and get some measurements just so we have some vital signs on this guy. Up front, they say that this is a 3.75-inch blade, but I'm not really sure who's measuring because as far as I can tell, that's a 4-inch blade. From the tip back to the handle right there, and the cutting length is at 4 inches as well. So back to the pivot is 4.5, and you're just under 9 inches in overall length right there. The handle is coming in right at about 5 inches, and the grip area is coming in at about 4.3, 4.4 inches right there. So we'll go ahead and bring out another couple of knives for a size comparison. Let's go ahead and show this next to the other F3. So these are going to be very similar in overall size. I may be noticing that my new one is a hair longer. I'm not really sure. Maybe you guys can tell me, but it seems like I would think they'd be exactly the same size. So I'm going to assume that they're exactly the same size. We'll get out a couple of other regular knives here. We've got a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and here is a Para 3. So you can see this is quite a large knife right here. I'll go ahead and bring out the ZT-0920. A few people have this knife. Another big 4-inch knife right there. Let's see, what else do we have? I've got a North Arm Knives Skaha. I've got a whole lot of knives actually to compare to this thing. And let's bring out another high-end knife just for a little cameo appearance here. Here is a Grimsmo Norseman. So you can see it's got the same size handle, but an even longer blade than the Norseman right here. So very, very nice size for me. I've really been enjoying these larger blades, and so I'm very thankful to finally get this one in hand. We've talked about the blade a little bit. Let's talk about the pivot. This runs on the multi-row bearing system. If I can find there it is, that's the logo. Maybe you guys can see inside right there. I may have to get a light on there for you. Yeah, let's see. Can you see inside there? It says multi-row MRBS, or multi-row bearing system. I actually really don't like this light that I'm holding right now. This is not my light. This is somebody else's light, and it's not very good. In any case, it says MRBS on the inside right there. Maybe it will show up on the video. I can't see it right now. Something else you may notice while we're looking inside there is the extensive internal milling that's going on. So I do need to bring a light out here to show you guys what's going on. All right, let's get the right angle. I don't do this very often, so I'm kind of... There it says MRBS. Perhaps you can see that. And there's extensive internal milling going on in there. Yeah, there you can see it. So that makes this knife fairly light for the size that it has. So something that I was very interested to do right off the bat was bring out this scale and go ahead and compare what the weights are on these two knives. So the regular F3 comes in at 5.1 ounces. With all the new skeletonizing, I can totally feel that weight difference. 4.5 ounces, 4.57. So it's shaved off nearly half an ounce of weight, and you can really feel it. And in a 4-inch blade to be at 4.5 ounces, that's pretty solid, especially with these full-length titanium frames right here, liners. These are not really liners. This is really a frame lock with a overlay on it, but some people would call this a liner lock. This falls into that category where the liners are so thick this could be pretty much a frame lock in any other circumstance. It just happens to have some carbon fiber on top. And take a look at that carbon fiber. Absolutely beautiful. This comes from the supplier Carbon Plate, the same guy that makes the copper dust carbon fiber right here, and the same carbon fiber that's on this Sigma right here. So very, very happy with the quality on that. I actually have big plans for this knife where I intend to upgrade it similar to my other F3 with a little twist to it. So stay tuned to my channel to see that. Obviously the centering comes dead on right there. Super nice. Titanium backspacer, milled titanium clip, which is a bit different than the standard version right here. And I know that this one works. I had this on a Hot TR, and I know that it works very, very nicely. So really looking forward to having this in my collection. Super thankful to Recon One for having this in stock at a fairly reasonable price. This was about $900. So what I've done is actually I've sold my regular F3. I have every intention of selling my Sigma. If you're interested, send me an email at drfrunkey@gmail.com. But I'm going to bring you guys a final diagnosis on this knife and a comparison to the old one. What do you guys think of my new F3R? Go ahead and leave some comments down below. Click like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at drfrunkey. And as always, guys, take care.